So at this point, we're able to save data, show data. In fact, we don't really need to use show data anymore, but I'm gonna leave it there because it's there, right? So we're able to do all this stuff. I can go ahead and add, for instance, something else here. Intro to Firestore. Firestore is awesome. Okay. Remember, if I do save, it's going to save, and all of a sudden we also have the data showing here. In fact, we go back to our document here. If you refresh, you'll see that it went ahead and override. Our data now should say Firestore is awesome, intro to Firestore. That's very good. Now, the other cool thing we notice here, because now we have our listener, which is going to be listening to all of the events in our snapshot, meaning in our data here. If I wanted to change something here, for instance, I want to edit this thought, I can click here or just double click there. Notice we can actually do all sort of things. So I can go ahead and change, for instance, awesome to great, like that. Just watch what's going to happen here. If I go ahead and say update, it's now saying great. This is happening because we were able to attach to this snapshot here a listener. So every time that we change anything here, it's going to also affect our application. So imagine if we had 20,000 people using this application, they would see the same changes instantly. That's really good. Now, the next thing you may ask here, how do we update any of these fields that we've been adding? Well, fair enough, we can come back to here and do just that. But firstly, we're going to change our user interface here and add another button right below here. I'm going to copy this. And this one is going to be update data such. Okay, and I'm going to change the text to say update data. I'm going to go ahead and create the actual string. Let's see, did I actually create? Yeah, created it, but I didn't add anything. That's not helpful. I'm going to say update field. In this case, I'm just going to update title. Let's start with that one. How is that? Okay, save this and go back to our main here. We see the update title there. So at this point here, we're just going to update one thing, right? So it's going to be this title field. All right, let's go back to our main activity. And what we're going to do, let's go ahead and obviously get the button here. Say update title. Say update title, find by ID, r.id.update data like this. That's very good. Now we have a lot of set on click listeners here. I'm going to actually implement here, implements on click listener like that, which means we have to override the on click, which also means at this point I can leave the other ones as they are, but for anything else that we create, in this case, I'm going to just go ahead and say update title button that's set on click listener, just pass this. Okay, that way I can come down here inside of our on click, put a quick switch here, v.getID, in the case r.id.update, let's say break, and I'm going to call update. I'm going to say update my title. How about that? Let's go ahead and create this. There we go. For our update here, first of all, I'm going to create a string, call this title. I'm going to go ahead and say title, enter title.get text to string. I'd like to trim it. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a map again. Just going to have a string object, call this data is equal to new hash map. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to put inside of our hash map here, put for our key, first of all, it's going to be key title is going to be equal to our title that we're getting. At this point here, once we have that object added inside of our data, I can just go ahead and get our reference, journal reference, that one, dot update method there, and I'm going to pass our data just like that. Okay, and of course I can go ahead and pass the add-on failure, add-on success. That's totally fine. In fact, I think it's a good idea to do that on your production applications, right? But you know what? It doesn't really take that much to do so. I'm going to add the on failure. And on success also, we can just go ahead and say toast, make, main.this, say updated, show us that, and we're good. Okay, so at this point here, once update is working, we're going to go update one field only, and we should be good. So this update my title, of course, is being called the moment we call the moment we click this update data, which is this button there. All right, let's go ahead and run here and see what's going to happen. There we go. So we have both of them opened. I'm going to type in a title that would say something like new title. And I'm going to go ahead and say update title. Let's see what's going to happen. So click. It says new title, and voila, you saw what just happened there. So if I even go S there and say update, look at that. It went ahead and updated new title instantly. All right, so if I go ahead and refresh this, you'll notice that we still have Firestore is great, new titles is indeed working. So at this point here, really, I just wanted to show you how to update one thing, and you know exactly now that if I wanted to update the whole thing, meaning the entire object, if you will, I could have done the same thing, right? Let's go back to where we're updating. You can come down here and just say string title, or actually that's going to be a thought, right? Is equal to thought get text to string trim, again same thing we did before, and I'm going to pass it as well down here. So data put the key is going to be thought, and pass our thought, right? Because this data will have everything anyway and should be good. And just to make things consistent, instead of having this string to say update title, just say update all. Save like that. So we have everything. We can go ahead and rerun this. There we go. So at this point here, update all, I can put in a title. Again, let's say another great thought. And the thought is going to be very original. I'm going to say update, and voila, everything got updated. There we go. Very good. So you're able now to actually update our fields in our document. So go ahead and play around with this concept here, and I will see you in the next video.